Good afternoon, YouTube. It's me all the way, George Page, aka the Emperor of Female Body Talk, coming to you live on YouTube. Where you should go, folks. Been kind of next few weeks could be kind of dry for women's bodybuilding, but we did have a show, and that was over the weekend. It was the Texas Pro, and Texas is becoming a mecca for bodybuilding. I mean, the last few years, a lot of bodybuilders live in Texas now. Many of them, I think because the environment of Texas, because the climate's a lot warmer, it's better for developing muscle, compared to if you live in, more, let's say, least warmer climates. Like if you live someplace like in Canada or around about the Dakotas, or pretty much up in the higher 40s of states. But anyway, it was I didn't watch the show per se. I saw some pictures here and there, as you know, and I tried to always try to keep up what's going on in the bodybuilding world as often as I can. So anyway, if you saw that, it was under this is the second annual of the show. It was produced by um, Battle Up Productions. And the winner of the show is this lady right here, one Miss Melissa Tech. And this will be her second Olympia qualification. And Melissa beat some strong competitors. Honestly, she beat some very capable and strong women in this show. And most notably, as you know, one of the ladies who just earned her pro card, her Olympic qualification about about a month ago, is Ashley Jones. And Ashley Jones took fourth at this show. Then take the second was a Pamela Canfield. Anna Harris, who competed at Toronto a week before, took third. And I believe Jesse Campbell took fifth at this show. I just got my partners popped in. Let me bring them in. You know,
Yo,
hey,
yo,
hey, Guinos. Hey, how you doing?
how's it going?
All right. Well, right now, I'm talking about the show they had over the weekend was Texas Pro.
Gotcha.
And yeah, I'm talking about it for a little bit. I know you don't follow a lot of the physique girls as much, but you should. They're still body girls. But it was a pretty good lineup. As you know, this is a show in which Sarah Vilgas put up $15,000 her own money for the physique women. And the thing is, people are debating. I was talking to another competitor today, like, why should a competitor put her money like that? But the fact is, it's hard to sponsor. Just even with physique, it's getting hard to get sponsored. You know, because the fact is, it's the level is changing. The women are getting just as developed as the women's bodybuilding, and that's why a lot of women switched over. You know, and why not? If you're not going to get it from within the community, you sure as hell not going to get it from outside. So it was a pretty impressive lineup. Ashley Jones, who did Chicago Pro, took fourth this show. She won it last year, and I think that was I think he should have what she should have done was, instead of doing this show, she already got a Olympic qualification. She lives in Texas. Focus on the Olympia. I know this is a show in your backyard. You already got your Olympic qualification. Focus on the Olympia. You believe that competitors, when they get qualification, should focus on the Olympia?
What was it? Focus on the Olympia. Yeah, definitely.
Hmm. Also, I know a lady who also got her qualification at the Tampa, also who competed at the show, and that is uh, Jessica Reyes Padilla, and I think she competed. They did figure in the other divisions. I believe that I forget Friday, and she won this show, and I think she should have, like I said, she already got a qualification for the Olympia because she won it at Tampa. She done, I think it was the fourth show she done. She did an interview where she talked about competition, yada 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 yada. But the fact is, hey, I know it's about competition, know about making money, but I think you should really focus on the bigger shows. Especially Olympia. That's the show where which that's the be all big show to work. But I know I'm saying you want to be competitive, and Jessica's pretty impressive. But I think she's pushing that level of borderline, I would say, physique competitor. You know, you think she's like getting too close to maybe like a physique competitor?
Um, yeah, a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
I'd say borderline-ish.
She's kind of like at the cusp right there, right now.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, it is. You know, you get to that level because I think a lot of like Shanique Grant was a physique competitor. Also, Natalia Cuello competed in physique, and they later made the switch. So but she won the show, which the person who took second runner up to her first runner up, they get points, but they don't get Olympic qualification. That's the tough part of it. You don't get your Olympic qualification. But one person who I become quite acquainted with, we're really cool. I'm a fan of hers. She's an amazing lady. We often we try to talk as often as we can. I know she's busy. She's competing, and this is her second show since early this month. She did Omaha, and she kind of tied for 16th, and it's ties is better than anything, but 16th is kind of tough. And this lady I become friendly with, she is an amazing lady. I would say a great competitor. I hope to finally meet her someday, and that is one Miss um, you know, Brittany Big Lemonade Brooks, and she, we talking a good bit. She was she was going to do the show because this was in her backyard in Texas, and I was proud of her. I mean, she did pretty good. I mean, this was a show where she earned her qualification, and she looked pretty impressive. I think you know. I'm sorry, real quick, quick, quick. Yeah, there you go. All right, give me a second, folks. I am dealing with a little bit of this here. There we go. And let me see. Wait a minute. There we go. And there she is. And that's Brittany. And I think she looked really great.
yeah.
I think she looked. I think compared to her last appearance at the Omaha, she really, really, she looked really impressive. Like I said, I'm proud of her. I mean, she worked hard. She got to this level, and she deserves the work. I mean, she worked hard for this. And like I said, I'm a big fan of Big Lemonade Brooks, and I think I hope to, like I said again, hope to meet each other sometime in the future. But congratulations to Brittany. I know 16th time for 16th, with like I think it was like at least 20 some women, and that was like I think a 5 or 6 way tie. But congratulations to Brittany, and I hope, like I said, she does good in the future.
Yep.
So anyway, as you see that if you see into the in our in the Abby of the video, we're going to do a revisit to the Tampa. I was thinking and we talked about some competitors, but we want to look at some of the other competitors that were there, and also talk about a little bit of detail, and also the winners and the losers, and might say, and the people that competed this show. We got a man, KLA, Don't Go Against Nature. I like them physique women. I don't watch their shows, but looking at some of them on IG and some on YouTube videos, they look very nice. Very nice. Oh yeah, yeah, they are nice. I mean, I think instead again, physique is still in it, even though it's a different division, it's still women's bodybuilding. You know, and if you look at it, it's pretty much, you know, pretty much I think the aesthetics are different, especially when it comes to posing, the looks, whatever else how they basically measure the division. But these women are still competitors. They like to compete. They like to prove themselves, and like I say, I respect them. So anyway, so as I said, we're going to do a little review of some competitors that competed at the yeah, Tampa Bay Pro. Now we're going to start pretty much kind of the first thing he did was in classic. They had the Masters I think it was a 3-day show. I think Thursday had masters. So that was they had like 3 classes. They had women 40 plus, 55, 50 plus, and 55 plus. And there was like at least 4 competitors for that, with one lady competing in at least um, all 3 divisions, I believe. And that is see, she won the 50 plus and 55 plus, and that is Cheryl Mears. And I'm trying to see if I have pictures. I said up here. Wait, I got it here. Wait, I'm seeing it. There we go. I'm gonna see if I can find the pictures. I gotta pull them up. You know how it is.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wait a minute. Give me a sec. But Cheryl, here's the thing about Miss Mears. She is a cancer survivor, and she competed in physique, but then she made a switch from physique to women's open, and she did the women's open show plus the 3 master classes, and she did pretty good. I mean, winning 50 and 55 plus, and also I think she took third and wins 40 plus. Now, and I think she always pretty, she did it, she put up, she gets a pretty game opponent with the great Miss Michelle Brent. And, I think like, she looked pretty impressive. I think, there's a lot of women in this, competing now that are like 50 plus. I think it's a growing number of competitors who are much more mature. I think some women hit their muscle maturity later in life, and some get into it for the passion of sport bodybuilding. So here we go. Yeah. And there she is, and that is Miss Mears, and I think she looks pretty impressive. What you think?
Yeah. Especially considering her age. And being a cancer survivor as well. That's what I assumed as well. Um, with the thing on her abdomen.
It's a colostomy bag.
Yeah, that's what I assumed.
Mm-hmm.
I thought she was pretty impressive considering all that she went through and all that other stuff. I also think Tamara McCarr also won the 40 plus as well.
Mm-hmm.
So she wasn't the only winner as well of Masters. I know she won 50 and 55 plus.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because McCarr did. Tamara did win at 50 plus, and she did pretty good. I mean, be that I think she did a couple of shows beforehand, and that was um the she did the Atlanta Pro first in the first year, and did the Chicago Pro, and she turns around and you know, she comes to sweetie, she comes to um, Tampa, and then she wins at the I think the Masters 40 plus. Now, also at the show, lady took second to Cheryl is Jennifer Sweeney, and Jennifer Sweeney, I think she competed last year. And I know some people who become friends with Jennifer who reached out told me that she looked pretty impressive from what she did when she looked at last year's uh, Tampa. She did last year. Jennifer did both Tampa, and she also did the Puerto Rico show earlier that year. And she was like originally one of 3 female bodybuilders until I think Staff Sergeant Stacy Nunez, who jumped over to women's bodybuilding, and also Margita Zamalova, who also jumped over, and then right behind them Heather Grace, who also competed at the Tampa that year. And I think she did make some adjustments compared to how she looked last year. She looked pretty good.
Yeah, especially in the leg department, arm department, other such areas.
Hmm.
Um, I guess probably midsection could probably use some work, but yeah, I think definitely some improvements were made.
Yeah, she's pretty good. Like I said, that thing. I think one thing's harder for women in the midsection to make the improvement because the fact is, as you know, when you're much older and if you have kids, it's hard to get that midsection to come in a lot tighter. Especially for women. I think that's. I know some women said they gone and done got plastic surgery like a tummy tuck, and it does help. It does help. My man, KL, ain't no go against nature. He drops this saying, Brittany looked nice. She did. She looked really nice. She looked great. I think she really came in pretty good. I hope she does one more show. I know I was talking with her. She said she might be doing Savannah in September. And that'd be like I said, I'd be happy to get to meet her there because, like I said, I'm planning to go to Savannah and I'm going to check out some shows. We'll take you to Savannah Pro, and I know some people I've been talking to are going to be at that show, so I'm hoping to see them. Now, as you just mentioned, Tamir McCarr. Tamir, I think this was the best look she had. I think in the season, she really came in great condition. Tamir, well, I talked to her a while ago. She sent me something. She was dealing with a guy who's a troll. She had to block him. But with her, I think the thing was, like I said, she is much mature, much older. She has a good amount of size, but I think the debate is if she can bring her conditioning. And I know you mentioned Miss McCarr very much, quite often, and I know you're a fan of hers, and I'm a fan of hers also. I hope maybe, she lives in Georgia. I hope she might even do the Savannah. I think she's taking a break, but she might. It's all up to her what she wants to do. So,
Yep.
and like, what's your thoughts?
Yeah, definitely just conditioning more. But besides that, yeah, this is probably the best she ever came in this season.
Hmm. I know she looked pretty good at Atlanta. She was in first call-outs at Atlanta um, last month, but then she got put in. She was in the finals, and I'm like, I even asked her, "What's going on? Don't they? When usually you get the first call-outs, that means that you are, pretty much going to be part of the finals, and I'm just wondering what's going on. I mean, she didn't know either. She was kind of wondering why she didn't. She was in first call-outs, and they switched her out with Shaquita Moreno. And Shaquita, I don't know what Shaquita. She just got to come in a little more tighter. I think that's with her. I think she got to really come in tighter.
Yeah,
Now, yeah,
also agree.
yeah. Also, we have here is, well, I would say one of the last true female bodybuilders, and that is Miss Michelle, Ivers Brent. She is truly, I would say, she's been competing for practically 30 years, and I would say she's one of the last true female bodybuilders. So not too many women who became bodybuilders, who get into bodybuilding as bodybuilding. You got more the women now who are competing now were either from other divisions, such as they came from figure to from physique, even some girls coming far as bikini. But she is, I would say, one of the last true female bodybuilders in the sport. And even though this woman is 65 years old, 65, she looks pretty impressive. You can still see the bit that, as with age, your body doesn't have the conditioning like it has when you were younger. But she looks pretty impressive for a woman from 65 years old.
Yeah,
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 yeah.
100%. Definitely pour one out for Michelle. She's a legend to say the least, and this is her last season as well. So all kudos to her for competing for one last time.
Yeah, she won I think 50 plus 55 plus at the Pittsburgh show, the World Masters, but she took second at this show because there's only two women that were competing 50 and 55 plus. That was her and Cheryl. Cheryl beat her. I was talking to her on IG how she said that when she was competing, Cheryl made her flash back to a lady who I'm friends with, and that's a late great Rondalee Charisma. Yeah, sorry, Charisma. Sometimes I still try to remember the can't that cute. And she was pretty proud that even though she didn't win, she was proud to be there. I think this might be her Tampa might be her very last show, or I believe she might try to do Savannah, and that's it. Now, here's the thing I want. This is some information I got from one of my little birdies that Stephanie Fletcher might be not be competing at the Rising Phoenix. Now, this is just scuttlebutt, but I would say that spot's empty. Give it to Michelle Brent. She deserves it. This is her last year. She never been to the Rising Phoenix. Rising Phoenix is supposed to be about women's bodybuilding, and she deserves her spot like anybody else. She deserves the opportunity, because this is going to be her last year. She has a business. She's moving on. It's the end of a great era of a great woman, and I think she deserves that spot. So give it to her.
Yeah,
Anybody listen to, hey, shout out to Jake Woods, somebody, and hey, give her a special invitation. They did it a few years back when Alicia Young took 7 at the Omaha, and they gave her a special invitation to the Rise Phoenix. And I think that was in 2018, 2017. I think it was 2018. Here we got, man, KL, don't get his nature. What do you say to these women when you reach out to them? How consistent you are when conversating to interviews on your live streams? Well, KL, I just talk to things like we just have a conversation. I don't have no written down answers. I don't have no written down questions. I just have a conversation. Like when we're sitting like imagine we're two people sitting at a table and talking face to face. That's how I like to do that. I don't like to do prepared. I know somebody say, "Yeah, he's prepared." No, I don't do prepared questions. I'll just talk to you. We have a back and forth, and then we just see what goes from there. Now, this lady, who I was also in contact with a while back, I'm hoping to get her opportunity to do interview with her soon. And that is Tina Mari Gomori. I'm Miss Tina. Her name is kind of it takes a lot.
mouthful,
What?
mouthful.
Yeah, it does take a lot. So I'm going to Miss Tina, respectfully. Now, she competed at the Vancouver Island show in women's physique. And I think she took third at that show. And I think also she did the Omaha, which was about a couple of months ago, and she switched over to women's bodybuilding. And she didn't compete. This is one by this lady. When I do research, I did a comparison video with her and another competitor. She started bodybuilding back in '95. That was back then when you just had really bodybuilding, and I think fitness just started. You know, and she competed one time, and then she decided to take some step back and start her family. I think she has 4 kids. I think 2 of her kids went with her to the show, and she looked pretty impressive. I'm telling you, honestly, she looks pretty impressive.
Yeah, she has the best abdominal development of any of the competitors there, I would say.
Yeah, especially a woman I think in her, late 40s. I think she's close to about 45, 46. I believe 48. And she had, great look at like her quads. I mean, she made adjustments from after Omaha, and I think she did Omaha, I believe. And she really, you really see how much size her quads. Look at her biceps. She has good abdominal development, great lat development. I mean, she looks pretty good. I mean, and I'm hoping to get her on. I'm gonna reach out to her later and see when she wants to schedule a time to do an interview. But she looks pretty impressive. I mean, she just like I said, it's gonna be a lot harder for her. She's older, and she has to really come in really tight. And if she comes in really tight with good definition, I think she'll do good. I think she'll. I don't know if she's gonna do another show That's why I'm hoping I get to ask her about that. What's the next step? Is she gonna, like I said, it said again, there's only pretty much four more shows left for women's bodybuilding before the Olympia. That's Savannah in next month, Europa, the Romanian, and the Muscle Fest in November. So and I wish there could be another show in October if we can get a sponsor. Hey, I'm like this.
And Rising.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, the Rising. Yeah, if we can get a sponsor who could if we get somebody who wants like a promoter and a sponsor come together and bring in another show for women's bodybuilding for where you won't have this little empty spot. But I think one thing the ladies who try to make the adjustments, come in condition, it'd be a great opportunity. I mean, some of these ladies would like to do more shows, but like I said, women's bodybuilding, so few shows for them. There's gonna be a lot more shows for women's physique because it's a new show. Now, one lady who I follow on social media also, and she's been competing for quite some. This show she does Tampa about every other year. I mean, she did it last year. She went to I think first time she did it, she went to the Rise of Phoenix the first time, and then I think the next two times, I think first time, second time she went to Rising because she placed pretty well. I think she took second place at the show at the Tampa, and that's Pauline Nelson. And Pauline is also a woman who's much more mature. She could have done the masters, but she focused more on the open. And she's from New York. She's a mother. And there's quite a few women out here who are mothers, who have kids, who have families, who are married, and yada yada. And she last competed was Tampa, and that's been not Tampa, New York. That's been nearly 3 months ago. And I think her New York appearance, she was a little too high, and I think I would say the same thing with this appearance at the Tampa. I think last year what happened was she was in first call outs, but then something happened. She couldn't. She came in. I think we was told she came in late when they did the finals, so she was didn't place her. So and that's when they changed the whole format because I think she took fifth place originally, and then she had to get pulled out. And I think who was it? I know Mona won that show. Oh, sorry, Mona won the show. Second was Hunter Henderson. Then third was Shanique. Was not Shanique? I'm sorry. Was Janine Mikowski. Fourth was Julie Furry. So I think she was original fifth place, but then what happened was, she didn't get enough time, so I put Stephanie Fletcher at fifth place and put my dear friend Miss Tina S. Williams in sixth place. But like I said, I mean, she put on a good amount of size, but I think she just got to come in more in condition. I saw pictures from her because you went to New York when she was at New York, right? Yeah. And from the pictures I saw, she looked a little bit flabby from the back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah.
That seems to not be her strong suit.
I think because she's of Caribbean descent, and it's harder for basically it's harder for black women to get rid of that extra, because just naturally you're more full in the hips and But she, I think she just need to work on conditioning. From the front, she looks great, but for the pictures I saw if you look from peripheral view, she does come in a little bit softer, and I think compared to Tina, I think Tina should be a little bit higher. You think?
Yeah, I think so too. It's hard sometimes though. It's for some of these women to get placed here and where and everywhere else. It's just I mean, it's only like certain spots that you even get points at. I think it's like 4 or 5 spots.
Yeah, I think with this show because I think it's a second tier show. So by points wise, I know. Remember we said that told me that Sheena has gotten 12 points because she gets 4 points, I believe, from Chicago, and then she turns around and get 8 points from this show.
Yeah.
So and that is this and I think if you go by 8 points, if you're the first place, first runner up, sorry, first runner gets 8 points, and after that is from 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, and I think that'd be at 1. And there was like at least 11 ladies at the show, so by the time it got passed down to number 9, the points ended after 1.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, and then like I said, but she was pretty good, but she just got to bring it just a little bit more conditioning. Now, one lady who I follow also on social media as a contact with, we've been in contact for a good while, and that's Janine Mikowski. As you know, Janine has been competing as a bodybuilder for a long time. She did take a step back a few years ago when they pushed out women's bodybuilding. She did compete in physique for a good bit, but she was sidelined by injury. She did pretty good. She qualified for the Olympia by points, and then she done this show. She did Chicago. She did Atlanta, and no, I think she just did Chicago, and did she see Chicago? I don't remember.
I can't for the life of me remember.
Now I remember. She worked the booth for Chicago to the Atlanta or Tampa.
Yeah.
She works the booth because the Wings 50 had a booth, and she worked the booth at the Wings for the Wings of Strength in Tampa. I mean in Chicago, and she lives around Tampa, and
she literally lives there.
Yeah, so this is in her backyard. Last year she did quite a few shows. She did Savannah, she did Tampa. I think she did the Rising Phoenix also, and that gave her enough points to qualify. Because she did also the Norfolk. Can't forget Norfolk, where this is the big word. She took second to Norfolk. I still feel like she should have won that show over Ladon McDay, either between her or Nikki Chartrand. I don't know why. I mean, Ladon did not. Ladon just don't never look conditioned. She just, she looks so she's smooth, but never really in condition. But like I said, I think. She won Best Poser this show because it's pretty good. She won Best Poser, but she just needed to come in just a little bit tighter. I think one thing I think around about the quads, the abdominals, her triceps is not really popping like it should. Not a lot of definition, but she looks pretty good. I think she just need to. I think one thing also, she's getting a little older. She's been competing for a long time. And it does get a bit of strain after a while. So what's your because I know you watch the show. Yeah. And what's your opinion of Janine's conditioning in her her physique?
Yeah. I also pretty much agree, concur 100% with everything you just said. It's just needs to more popping wise, like conditioning, line separation. And she might just unfortunately sometimes like this, there is that whole age thing that does eventually catch up with you. I don't know if that's the case for Mikowski here. Yeah, Janine. But I don't know. All I can say is, if she wants to get into the Olympia, I'd say focus on the Savannah.
Because I know she did Savannah last year, and I think she made top 10 in that last year. Was it? See, I think Brianna won that year. I think she took second or third. No, I'm trying to remember. It's been, like I said, it's been a while. So anyway, Anyway, another lady who I become acquainted with, we talk a bit on social media talk on the IG. I did leave you with a while back, and that is one Senorita Pena, the Pena Vega. But she would. I mean, when I started the thing was they put Gabrielle Vega. I said Gabrielle Pena. I said because I knew she said she would do a show, but I didn't know which one show she was going to do. We were talking. She said she said she's going to do Savannah also, because she originally lived in Mexico, but I think she said she was planning to move to the States. I think she did make the move, and I hope she's doing great. I hope I get to meet her in person, we get to talk, and she looked really good. I mean, I think she was in the top 10 last year. Or I think it was top 10, or maybe I think I forget how far she got. I think she got 13th last year, and then she turns around and she gets into the she takes fifth place. That's pretty good. Taking fifth place.
Yeah,
She looks really impressive.
yeah, especially for a competitor like that, who's like, um, who I haven't really focused too much on. Taking fifth is like really good, especially for like this is her first show or one of her first shows, definitely.
Yeah, for the year, because I know she wanted to do more shows. But like I said, the cost of when she was still living in Mexico at the time, the cost of travel back and forth. She could have done. I told her, you should have done Puerto Rico. She probably done Puerto Rico. There was a show in Brazil. She could have done, but she said she was focused on this show, and she's going to try to do Savannah. Or maybe there's also still got two more shows for out of the country. That's Romania and Europa Championship. But
Yeah.
she's pretty impressive. Like I said, I know she said she's gonna do Savannah, so I hope to get to see her and get to talk to her. And we've been talking. We did the interview. We talk on IG. We chat on IG every now and then. And I think I hope she does good this show. She looked pretty impressive. Yeah. So we're coming into the top four. You see, we're in top five. We're coming number four, and number four, looked pretty good. I mean, I think this is a debate to me. Number four, I don't know. I don't know. This is a debate where I think, I don't know. Um, I'm not a judge. I'm a fan. Even though, I follow this woman, on social media. She's an amazing woman. She's a great physique, great look to her. There's a debate that, she placed a little too high, and that is Victoria Dominguez. And Victoria, I think, I don't know. She might have placed a little too high. She in some aspects her condition was decent, but in other aspects, I don't know. I think Gabby should have been fourth. I think this is my opinion. This is just me. Okay, the top three is good. What they have the top three is good, but I think it should swap around a little bit. I think Gabby should have got fourth. I think Tina should have got fifth. Janine sixth. And I think Victoria should have got seventh. What's your thoughts on that? Because you saw the show.
Yeah. I mean, I pretty much agree. With that assessment. Maybe we can put up a photo of her as well.
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah, I guess put it up.
yeah. Yeah. I think she did place a little bit too high as well. It's um honestly, I think certain other competitors, even ones that are lower on the list, probably were on par with her or slightly better than her. Uh, yeah, I pretty much agree with that assessment as well. That I think she should have taken. Uh,
7 or 8.
yeah, I was thinking of that.
Yeah. I think with Cheryl. I think Cheryl was number 11. I think she was 11th. And I see. I'm trying to look at the points. So you go quick. I try to remember. I think Cheryl Mears was 11th. Jennifer Sweeney was 10th. Now, this is what I said again. We say let's push Tamara up to 8th, put Pauline at 9th, Gabby at 4th, then Tina at 5th, and then Janine at 6th, and 7th and 8th should be Victoria and Tamara.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
more or less.
Yeah, more or less. Yeah, it's about what the judges like and what they see they prefer. Sometimes it's just thing is we as I know I did the my live stream with Big Keith and Marianne. We talked about what the judges want, so what they want to see. It's a great big debate. It's just, we fans, well, we always shows, we see it live. You see, it's one thing we see on television, but we see it live. It's a totally different thing.
Yeah.
Another lady who this is her third show she's turned over to women's bodybuilding is Sherry Priyami, and Sherry, she's been doing pretty good. I mean, she, just a woman who's like 40 something plus, coming in here. Taking second at Atlanta, taking second at Chicago, then turn around taking third in Tampa, and I think she's from Florida. She hadn't competed since the Tampa in 2020, and I think she placed in the top 10 in men's physique, and she won the women's masters. I think it was 40 plus, I believe. But she turns around, she comes in bodybuilding on her debut as a bodybuilder. Plays second behind Michaela Aycock, and then takes second behind Angela Yao. Wait a minute, we got my brother coming here. Underrated Darkness, bro, George and chat. Yeah, yo, underrated. That's my brother, underrated. Yo, underrated. I'll pick on you a little bit. I broke my back. Spinal. That's great, Mike Tyson. It was one of his last fights. I think it was second to last fight where he fell down and he said he broke his back. Spinal. And I'm gonna come on next time you do a boxing live stream. I'm gonna come on underrated, and me and Clarence gonna have some fun. But Sherry, woman who was much mature. She switched over. I remember I reached out to her. I think it was early this year, and I asked her, "Are you switching? You think about doing women's bodybuilding?" She said at the time she said no, but she doing pretty good. I mean, placing top, taking second run up at 2 shows, and then coming into Tampa and taking 3rd place.
Yeah.
Yeah,
she's definitely impressive, especially for how young she is in the sport. Very condition-wise, great look, great personality, great proportion, shape, size, everything. Yeah, no complaints here. And she does have enough points to go to the Olympia, so that should be fun.
Yeah, because I think she's right behind Michelle Jin with points, as you told me, and Michelle is, she's the leader with 22 points. So I don't think, like I said, and then also Michelle's doing the, I believe she's supposed to be doing the, I think she's doing the Rising, yeah. So, and all she got to do is just,
show up.
That's it. and then she's qualified. She just, she don't, I don't think she know anything. But one lady who I did interview some time ago, I would say generally the most beautiful woman I've met, next to my dear friend Miss Jada Beverly, and that is Sheena Oleg. Sheena is just stunning. I mean, she's just amazing. Now this year wasn't too much a good year for her. She had I saw her did an interview with the Female Bodybuilding Channel when she mentioned that she had to get surgery for her shoulder. I think she has some couple other injuries that come up, and that might have set her back a little bit. But Sheena, she's kind of like her and Jada have that same athletic build, kind of like another lady who used to do the Tampa about every other year. She, Sheila Black.
Yeah,
That's they have that Sheila Black.
yeah. I
Yeah,
agree 100% with that.
yeah, they have that long, much more athletic build. Not as big, not as bulky. Not as more conditioned. And I think it's a lot harder for her to put on the size. She can come in good condition, but I think it's a lot harder for Sheena to really put on the size compared to some of the other girls. But I love her physique. I love her look. I'm a fan of hers. I think she's a beautiful woman. She's a sexy woman. I mean, I always try to say, "Damn, you sexy as hell." And I can't lie. She is beautiful. She has a great physique. I
Yeah,
think she didn't look as good in Chicago. I think she needed to make the adjustments for that show to Tampa. Now she is planning on doing Savannah. So she already has 12 points, like you said. All she has to do is either win or take second runner up, which give her 16 points or get a qualification. And since there's only like at least about three more shows, like say four, after Savannah, three more shows left for points qualification, or also for qualification. Actually, but it's like this: two shows for qualification, one show for points. Because the fact is, we all know who's going to win the Rising Phoenix.
yeah,
Yeah. So, but she looked pretty good. I mean, I think one thing was I think around the midsection, which is she's not as tight like she usually is. I think
yeah.
maybe somewhere a bit the back. She just
Improvements can be made. Yeah,
yeah, and she has enough time because
definitely gorgeous.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, she has enough time because you only got for about maybe 2 or 3 more weeks till the Savannah, so she has enough time to make those adjustments. So I think she looks great. She's beautiful. I love her smile. I mean, it just she's a sexy motherfucker. I can't. I think she's beautiful, and I hope
yep,
she does get the chance to go to Olympia and qualify. I hope if she don't do that points, I hope she does win. At least this is my feeling. I hope she does win Savannah, which gets a qualification, where she don't have to do any more shows. She just do Rising and concentrate on the Olympia. So that'd be her way into qualification. My man here, Lawrence Perkins. Hello, George, and good people. Thank you, Lawrence. Thank you for coming through, brother. Hello to you. Appreciate you support. I know you're a fan of these ladies. You can come on here. You missed some of the the live stream, but we're glad you're here. You can watch it later whenever you get a chance to. Now, last but not least, is I would say how the Macho Man used to say back in the day, the cream of the crop. And that
Mhm.
the top lady who just this was her second show as a pro. She'd been competing for at least 10 years, as little over 10 years. That is Chelsea Dion, and Chelsea was for a good while. She just started bodybuilding. She competed as a physique competitor, and then she made the switch last year to women's bodybuilding. We earned her Olympic qualification. And also, she's a Win Strength ambassador. And I part of me, I don't know. Chelsea, she looked pretty good. I'll give her that. I think she has the look that I think the judges want to see. Good lines, good muscle definition. Very, I think, more. What they want to see more of some good feminine aesthetics. You know, I compare her to another lady who's competing, and And that is I call it a cookie cutter version of Stephanie Fletcher. I think her and Stephanie about the same size. And I think it says
Yeah.
yeah. I think Chelsea's like 5'9", and I think Stephanie's like 5'9". And even the poses about the same. Even they both do the same vacuuming thing. I don't like that. Don't do that. I know the guys doing bodybuilding, but come on. It's
Yeah.
but that's her style. But I mean, I'm gonna say it like this. Me, I was going for Sheena. I was going for Sheena all the way. I was talking with some people that was at the show who watched it live in person, and they really were rooting for Sheena, and I was rooting for it too. I even told her. I sent her, yeah, on IG saying, "You got this." I sent her some pictures. And I said, "You got this," and she's very happy. But we all know they went with Chelsea Dion. My man Lawrence. Yeah, Chelsea nailed it. Yeah, I think she dialed in compared to when she took third at Chicago. That was her first show, but I think she made the adjustments. Chelsea lives in Vegas. And, she probably, I don't know, she might, you know, that's good for her because the fact is, hey, she don't have to go too far. The show will be right
Yeah.
down the road from her. So but she still has that great look to her. I think she has a little bit more of the. I think they saw she has quite like her hair, her face, and everything else. She has very feminine aesthetics, but she has a great conditioning, great size. Being that she's taller, it's a lot harder for taller women to come in condition
Yeah.
because they have to be a lot bigger. Condition is more the smaller girls, like people like Michaela and also Andrea Yao. Actually, Andrea Yo. I say Yao Yo. I go like Yao Ming. It's Yo. And she looked pretty good. I mean, I think she did deserve her win. I mm, I'm still a Sheena Oleg fan, and I was going for Sheena. My man
Mhm.
Lawrence. I like Sheena too. She's a beast. Yeah, I follow her training. She's also fun. I remember her and Chelsea are really cool. 'Cause, they become friendly. They become friends. There's one part where her and Chelsea are backstage at the Chicago, and Sheena has a cookie. I think I think she had a pizza mixed with a cookie or something like that, and Chelsea had a piece. I don't know if I will let anybody eat off of me behind me. I mean, maybe when I was like when my niece and nephews were little, but they were little kids, but I think it was a pretty good show. Now, as you know, you don't follow physique that much because I know you mainly concentrate on women's bodybuilding, but she should really look into physique. So we're gonna do a couple ladies right off before we
I
end
I
off.
should. Well, I'm gonna just say my last piece, and I'll just end off, and you can go over the physique girls because you watch them and know them better than me. I think the top three could have been put interchangeably. I
Well, let,
actually thought Sherry should have probably won, but and Sheena maybe could have either been second or third. Um, and Chelsea Dion, second or third. It's very fluid with the top three there.
yeah,
But yeah, something like the equivalent of that. But besides that, on to Savannah.
yeah.
And good night, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, good night to you. As you know, they did also did between Sheena and Chelsea because they had those two. Usually they have a three-way, but they had to really get a matchup between Chelsea and Sheena. See how they look. But I'm gonna do it quick because I know I want he don't do much about physique. He should follow the physique girls because still women's bodybuilding. And those ladies they put as much time and work and effort into it too. I know, I do talk about women's physique as much. I do videos about that. We do it, and I think more of the interviews are done with women in physique. But it was a stacked show. But I'm gonna talk about the top. I'm not going to too many detail like we did with because it was a short lineup for 11 ladies for women's physique, women's bodybuilding, but at least 20 some women, nearly 30. I think it was 30 women for women's physique, but I will talk about the top five. So that's a lot easier. I won't have to dig in too deep. Or if you feel like you want me to talk about top six, I'll talk about top six. I got the time. So number six at this show is a lady who's been competing for a long time. She is, and been competing in bodybuilding for a long time, and that is Heather Grace. Last year Heather competed as a bodybuilder. She made the switch over from. She did two shows. I believe she did Puerto Rico, where she took third place, and I think she did Omaha, I believe. I'm trying to remember. Oh, there's a man, G Cell. You know, both both Sheena and Chelsea look good. I mean, yeah, they look pretty good. I think, maybe I think Sheena might be a little off, but she just came in just a little tighter. Just a little tighter. I think she could have beat Chelsea. That's just my opinion. Maybe me being prejudiced, me being a fan. And, I'm a Sheena Oleg fan. And I think I'm just being a bit prejudiced. But that's how it is sometimes. You're a fan of somebody, especially one of these competitors, you're going to be a bit prejudiced. So. But, sorry. Heather been competing for a long time. She's been in the game for nearly 20 years, I believe. She's been a multiple time Olympia competitor. And I think, she looked pretty good. She hadn't competed since last year. The debate is that, I don't know. I think it could be the fact that she is getting older. It is getting tougher to compete. I think she should have done, instead of going back to physique, she should maybe just come back to bodybuilding. Like I say, I think like the women who get much older and not, she still plays top six this show, but I think she should maybe think about going bodybuilding again. I think she looks pretty good. She has a great look to her. I know particularly one gentleman who I become acquainted with. She knows Heather. He said that wasn't her best look. But she looked pretty good. I mean, I think great quads. I think maybe one thing I think what I heard about, so the judges they often look at the back. If your back not as good like it should be, that could be a thing that hurts you. But she looked pretty good. I have to give her that. Now, next up here we have another lady she took fifth place at the show, and that is, I think her name is Michelle Stevie's, I think Stevie's, I believe it's Stevie's. I'm gonna get a name wrong. I wanna, and she looked pretty impressive. This was, I think, her second. This is her first show for as a bodybuilder. I think she wasn't long ago she turned pro. I believe she just did the Texas Pro this weekend. And she was pretty impressive. I think, she has a particular. Oh, so wait, sorry, folks. This is the wrong picture. Yeah, it's a test. It's technology. But Michelle looked pretty impressive. I mean, that's why I like to give Liza. I would love to have got to someone like her. I think she's one of these ladies you would love to get opportunities. I think she probably wouldn't mind doing a conversation, talk about herself, and she looks pretty impressive. I think, what you think, guys? Lawrence, KLA, Giselle. I mean, I think, even though size doesn't matter so much in physique, but it does help some way, especially around about the quads, maybe a little more size in the lat development. I know physique wants to get away from the size thing about like when it's bodybuilding, but a lot of the physique competitors are getting bigger too. That's why some of them have to eventually have to move up to women's open, because if they don't place too well. And I think she's also much mature. I think she's a little older. I think she's maybe in her 40s. But your body starts hitting that, as you might say, muscle maturity, when you get older. But I think she looks pretty impressive. Now, next up after her is number 4, and that is Diane Schneidt. Diana Schneidt. Diana is originally from Germany, but she lives in the States now, and she competed at Chicago, just about 2-3 weeks ago. And I think, I think she plays pretty well, in taking fourth place. I think what it is because, with physique, it's more about femininity over muscular development compared to women's bodybuilding. More about conditioning and less about size. And I think some of those women who don't have the size but have good conditioning do a lot better in physique. And and Deanna looked, she looked pretty good. I mean, good lines. You can see that how they call that diamond look in the quads. You see right there, the diamond look. That's what they like to see in the judging. You good size. You can see right here, the calves look pretty good size. I think good condition of the chest, shoulders, tricep. I mean, she has a great physique. I think she's very impressive. These, like I said, the women from Eastern Europe, from Germany and other countries, she been living in the States. I think she did a smart thing. She really worked on her conditioning. She really did. She did the major adjustments, which got her a little higher compared to Chicago. I think she made, fifth or sixth in Chicago. And she took fourth for this show. So, she looked pretty impressive. So, So, hoping we might get to see more of her in the future. Now, third place is, let me pull it up real quick. Her name is kind of long. I believe she's from Spain or she's from Italy, and that is Ella Alves Romero. I think she last competed at the Portugal Pro. I believe she made top 5 at that show, and she looks pretty impressive. I mean, I think I'm gonna ask you guys who are fans and get your opinion. You think she might need to go up to Women's Open, or she's better off in physique? Just let me know. I don't know. Look at her, look at the definition of the quads. I mean, she has good lat development. She just need to come in a little more tapered in the waist. But look at her quads. God, no wonder she got third place. She looked pretty impressive. Look at her shoulders. She just came in a little tighter. I mean, she could, I don't know. It's just, like I said, I'm just looking at her. It's just, she has a great physique. Oh, who just came in? Who just came in the building? Bulls Deep. What up and salute to Bulls Deep. And always asking the same thing. What did I miss? You missed most of the show, brother. You missed most of the show. I'm just about to get done in a bit. Chicago in here. Yeah, Chicago in here. And don't say Galato on deck, whatever. Keep saying that. And yeah, she has a good for physique. Yeah, I think Alina is pretty impressive. Smash that like button. Appreciate that, brother. My man here. I think Michelle Tech, who won the physique, is more ripped than most female bodybuilders. We just talked about G-Cell. You just missed it. You can watch it later if you watch the video. We just talked about Michelle Tech. We can go back to her in a minute, but let me finish these two more, and we'll talk about Michelle Tech because she looked pretty. I mean, she looked almost like a bodybuilder more than anything. But we just talked about Michelle Tech. She just won the Texas Pro. But she looked pretty impressive. Now, September 2nd, this show is a lady who is number 5 for Olympic qualification. And she did Tampa, and she just did the the Texas Pro, and that is Anna Hottis. And I know a man, Big Keith, he called me, he saw the show and said, George, you guys see this Mexican chick? I said, who are you talking about? You talking about Gabriella? I said, no, this chick in physique. I said, what? Who are you talking about? So I said, wait a minute. I know who he's talking about. He's talking about Anna Hellas. And Anna, she earned her pro card last year at the amateurs at the Arnold Schwarzenegger Classic. She earned a qualification, I think, was at St. Louis or one of these other shows. It's one of the shows where they don't have women's bodybuilding, they have women's physique. And she got fifth place at the Olympia this year. But she's with this show, she already has 12 points. So she already got 11 points from taking fifth at the Olympia, then getting 8 points at the Tampa. I believe she took second at the Texas. No, she took third at the Texas show, which gave her another 3 points. So she already has 22 points, which I believe gets her into the lead for the Olympia. As you know, there's a lot more shows for Olympic competitors, so she can do another show if she likes. But Anna, I mean, he told me about her suit. I said, wait a minute, let me look back. I said, Anna looked pretty good. I mean, she has a great. I think she's a tall. She's tall. I think she's kind of tall. But I think one thing is she just didn't come as tight like she did the last time when she first competed. You know, Anna looked pretty good. I mean, compared. One thing I think, if she had Anina's quads, I think that probably would have helped her. She has more of that tapered look. Great definition. I think, and also it's like she's taller. Cause I saw a picture with Cheryl Vilgas wearing high heels, and her and Sarah about the same height in high heels. So I think she might be maybe 5'6", 5'7", because I think Sarah's about that tall. And and she might. I think she's gonna. If I was her, you already got enough points, being that you took fifth at the Olympia last year, and you took second at the Tampa, which gave you 19 points, and then taking third at the Texas Pro, which gave you 22 points. Stop. Unless you want to do a show until you qualify. There's probably 2 more shows for qualification before, I think, right before, there's more shows for Olympic competitors than it is for female bodybuilders. But I think she should really think about just stopping and saying, yeah, she's fire, yeah. And you agree, yeah, Lawrence, you agree. I mean, Anna, she has a great physique. She's very impressive. She just, I think, maybe try to do one more show so you get qualification by winning. But I think you should think about, just stopping and sitting on those 22 points, unless there's an opportunity somebody might try to surpass you. Now we have a lady here, and and she's a much mature lady. She's a mother of 3 kids, and she looked really good. And that is Janine Feldman. Now Janine competed last year. She's been to Olympia at least 2 or 3 times in her career, I believe. I think it's the second or third time for her. And Jenny looked pretty good. I think this was her best showing. I think she her conditioning was just on point. And that really helped her get her spot into the Olympia. And I think Jenny did the smart thing. Don't do any other shows, Jenny. Just sit back and chill. Look, I think one thing is you can see, look at her. She has the more taper in. She has wide. Look at her lats, more tapered in. Not as quad condition is pretty good. You can see her her bicep here. Look at the tricep. Look at her traps. She just really came in her best condition. She lives in Florida. She's also friends with a lady I'm friend with, Miss Daphne Carter, who competed as a wellness competitor at this show in Tampa. And she looked pretty good. I think I'll give it that. She looked pretty good. I think Jenny really came in her best showing in a long time. She did Texas last year after she did Tampa. And I think she made the top 5 of that show. But now she got qualification. She's not doing any other shows. She can focus. Malone, yeah, Jenny definitely rock solid. Yeah. Now I'm gonna do one more here before I also because this is a lady, like I said, I've become acquainted with. I support her. I'm a fan of hers. I think she's a great lady. I know let's see, where is this? She was a physique competitor, but she made a switch last year, made a switch this year, and that's Daphne Carter. And Daphne, she switched over to, I would say, the dark side. And she decided to do wellness, and that's a good move for Daphne. Daphne, I think, with her genetics, she's Haitian, woman much more full in the hips. I think it was a good move for her to switch over, and I don't do enough on wellness because even though I think there's some I gotta find the right competitors because like I say I don't know all the wellness girls. I gotta find the right competitors. Maybe I might do comparison somewhere down the road. I gotta really put it together. I might do one. I might do one with Daphne and one of the girls here. I know last time, I just got to find how I want to work it out. But I try to figure it out, how I do my comparison videos. But Daphne looked great. She looked amazing. I think, Daphne is just, she's the big smile, great. I mean, look at her, her quads. You can see from the back, even from peripheral view, you can see how well her assets are. But Daphne looked great. I mean, she didn't want to tell me. I asked her, "Where gonna make debut at?" I said, "Nah, she want to keep it a secret. She want to keep it close to the chest, close to the vest." Excuse me. And I respected that. I told her like, whenever you're ready, you want to talk about, your first time competing as a physique competitor. I mean, as a wellness competitor. I'm happy to have you on. You'll be my first wellness competitor because I've done. I had a woman who done fitness. That's Mandy Pope, but she's an MMA fighter, and also I done mostly a lot of. I have a couple of figure competitors, a lot of physique and bodybuilders. But I would love to get her. And also one amateur bikini competitor. That's the Viltrum, who just earned her, who just did her won her who did a couple of shows a week before last. But I think Daphne looked amazing. I think she looked beautiful. So I think she just her condition was just really good. But uh, a man balls deep. She's beautiful. Yes, she's beautiful. Balls deep with nothing else. Now, as you know, somebody just mentioned. My man G Cell mentioned. Melissa Tech from the Texas show. So I'm going to talk about her for a bit, and because I ain't gonna be on here too long because it's getting about close to supper time, and we'll show some pictures from we'll show how she looked. And I think I saw some pictures, and she looked pretty impressive. I think she looked really impressive. I mean, she's she went to Olympia last year when she won at the I think Arizona Pro. But then I think she really, conditioning. I'm telling you, she looks closer anything to. I think she could be. I think she, if you wanted to, she could switch over. I mean, I'm looking at the pictures. I mean, wow. I mean, she looks about like almost. She might be a little about taller than Michaela Aycock, and I think she could do women's bodybuilding. If she, but she are like I said, as long as you're doing well in your division, some women don't move up. They as long as they're doing well in their division, they won't move up. They'll stay where they're at. As long as they're winning shows and placing, some women will not switch. But if some are kind of struggling, they do. You know, and that is here we go, and that is Michelle Tech. And wow, I'm look at her biceps, look at her lats, her quads. I mean, she has that tapering look. She kind of looks like, I don't think she might be a little taller, but she does kind of look like Michaela Aycock. Maybe just that if Michaela had just a little bit more size, I think she can probably switch over to women's open if she wanted. But as long as she won, just she under qualification for the Texas Pro. So she's probably not going to switch over as long as she does good. But she has really put some good amount of size from last year. She's really gotten huge. You know, So here we go. You know, see, she weighed more than Angela Yao by 3 pounds. She what? She weighed more than Angela Yo by 3 pounds. She could do. Damn, she if she wanted to, she could. I think if she could do women's body from her look. I know there's a debate about a lot of these physique girls coming to women's bodybuilding, but the fact is, it's the way to fuel the division. They need more bodies. You know. I saw a post on Instagram. Yeah, I saw a post. Yeah, okay. You know, she's solid. Yeah, Melissa is solid. I mean, she really come in great condition. Like I said, let's see. Um, I think let's see. We'll talk about one more. I think we'll talk about one more lady here who decided for some reason or another after she get a qualification to do. I know you want to be competitive. I'm saying you want to be competitive, but I think you should really focus on the big show, and that is Ashley Jones. And Ashley was a figure competitor, but she made the switch. Now she won the show last year, and let's see. Wait a minute, let me say. I think it was Female Body Channel who posted. Oh, on the IG. Okay, I check it out. Yeah, I check it out. They might even talk to it because female bodybuilding they don't do a lot of stuff on physique women as often as should. They should because but I know it's about female bodybuilding, but still physique is female bodybuilding. But as I was saying, Ashley Jones, who won the show last year, who earned her first Olympia qualification. She had to take a step back because she got sick when she got to Olympia. But then she turned around, she wins Chicago, and then she comes to this show and take fourth. It's never good. It's never a good move to you win one show, and then you take fourth at another. It's not good. It's not a good look. That's why when you get your qualification, that's why I say this. When you get your qualification, concentrate on the bigger show. I know she lives in Texas because Whitney Brooks, she knows her because they sometimes work at the same gyms. She just, I think you can really see how she looks pretty good, but she just didn't come as tight. I think maybe, she might have been an off day, and it's right here in your backyard. You live in Texas. It's right here in your backyard. I think, Ashley should have just skipped the show. She should have skipped the show and focused on the Olympia. I think that was the problem. I think she just wanted to go in and think, I'm going to, I think she thought she was going to win. No, she took fourth place. That's bad. When you win a show, you win Chicago, which is a bigger show, they come over and do a smaller show like the Texas Pro and take fourth place. That's not a good look. That means that you're not, that's not a good look. That tells you that, that's not a good look. You should really focus more on the bigger show. I know, like, I saw Jessica Padilla Reyes mentioned how she was, she was really, she likes to compete. But I understand like compete, but at the same time, when you get your opportunity, you should step back and think about, okay, I got a bigger show coming on the horizon. I got to compete with girls who probably going to be at their top level. I should concentrate on that show. So try to get, I know it's a way to make some money and also, with sponsorship, all that stuff, but you should concentrate on the bigger show. Show that really, really is, the Olympia. Olympia is the big show. After that, hey, there's no point doing any show. Just to do them to be doing them. But that's just my opinion. I don't, everybody don't have to share my opinion. Now, one lady I ain't gonna say, I'm gonna show real quick, and last year she did pretty good. She won Tampa, then she took second in this show, but I think she just was kind of off this year, and that is Linka Lankova. And Minka, I think she just really, I don't know. I think she's been, this has not been her best year. I think, Linka's originally from the Czech Republic, but I think she lives in the States now. And she looked a little bit, from the pictures I saw, a little bit bulky. Not as conditioned compared to when she won the Tampa last year and took second in this show this year. She placed 15th. And then she tied for 16th at Tampa. That's not a good thing. I mean, I tell you, if you Yeah, something's telling you that either. His thing is, she's living here in the States now. That means that the stuff she was taking back overseas in Europe is kind of stronger. That's why, as you saw a while back, Julia Furry, she went back to Switzerland because she didn't look that good at the. She didn't look too good, even though she took second at Puerto Rico. Even though those three competitors, she didn't look as conditioned compared to Sean Boswell. And then she got, I think she got, was it seventh or eighth at the Atlanta Pro, and then I think and then after that, she really felt like, oh no, I really need to make the adjustments because yeah, she didn't look as good. I think she did Chicago too. I think she did Chicago also, and she decided to go back to Switzerland. And I think the same thing with Linka. I think she needs to, she got a good amount of size. I think Linka might need to switch over to women's open. I think Linka, she's a big girl. I think she may need to switch over to women's open. She might do better over there. I think that'd be a better, choice for her. I think, she got some size, but her condition is a bit off. I think that's what hurt her. I think she needs to really switch over to women's open. But that's just me making my statement. I mean, just me just making my opinion. I'm not, like I said again, I'm a fan. I'm not a judge. I'm not an expert. So anyway, folks, as you know, it's getting close to summertime for me. Like I said, I just wanted to drop a few things. I think, wait a minute, one more before I head out, and let me look at this one in here. And this is a lady who just, two more. I think I'm gonna say two more. This lady who just made her her pro debut. She just earned a pro card about a week or two ago, and that is her name is Jessica Campbell, and she looks pretty good. I mean, she got top 5 of this show, and I mean, wow. I mean, she has a great look to her. I think I forgot where she's originally from. I'm trying to remember. Speak about it real quick, and you guys give me your opinion. You think she has? I think maybe she should have maybe just waited a little bit and made the adjustments. Give herself a year instead of just jumping over to open to the pro level just yet, or just she. I mean, she looks pretty impressive. I mean, I'm telling you. I mean, one thing I think she needs to work at is her conditioning. I think I think she might be a little taller. She has a good size, a good her. She has, I think, what they call the muscle bellies, as they say. I mean, I'm still learning the terminologies, but she just earned her pro card about a week or two ago, and this was her pro debut. She made top 5 at this show in Texas. She was pretty good. I mean, maybe coming a little tighter, a little drier. Maybe working her quads and the definition. But I think she has a great look to her. I think, yeah, she's pretty good. I ain't gonna lie. She's pretty too. She's party too. I like her hair. Yeah, I think she's Latina. I believe she is. She has that look to her. I mean, the hair is kind of curly. I like girls like that. Natural curly hair. She's very pretty. So but yeah, I think she looks pretty good. I mean, it's just. But one more lady, folks, and then I'm headed out. As you know, I'm going to be a bit prejudiced because I become friendly with this lady. I talked about her earlier, and I could say congratulations to her. And I hope she does. Maybe she might try to do Savannah. I know she said she's talking about doing it. And I think, like I said, I did talk about earlier. And I hope she really makes the adjustments. That is one Miss Brittany Big Lemonade Brooks, and I'm a fan of Brittany. I think she's a great person. She has a beautiful smile, beautiful personality, and also she's dealing with sickle cell. And I think that's the thing that's tough about being competitive. That sickle cell can really take care. I don't have it, but I know of people who have it, and it's tough on you. I think she hadn't competed in like almost a couple of years, but she wanted to compete because she has a passion for sport. And I'm a big fan of Big Lemonade Brooks. I think she looked pretty good. I think she looked a little bit better than she did in Omaha. But still, I think if she does Tampa, Savannah, which is almost 2 or 3 weeks away, make the adjustment, come in tighter. I think she's doing pretty good. But like I said, I think she looks great. Her hair looks great. Her physique looks great. I love her smile. I love something else too, but I'm not gonna be like balls deep. I'm not gonna go in details about that. But I think she looked great. I think she looked amazing. I think like I said, she did, she was she tied for 16th. I know it's hard, but I think, Brittany looked great. I think she looks great. I think she looks awesome. You know, but congratulations to her. I hope we should get to see her some more the rest of the season. My man, Lawrence, she definitely looks great. A little tighter. She touched to Miss Olympia. Yeah, just a little tighter touch. And I agree. Yeah, thank you, Lawrence. So anyway, folks, I do appreciate y'all for listening to me. My partner, Jen, he had to go out because he has a job. He had to go to sleep and get ready. So he's been going through stuff because his parents are doing some. I hope they finally finish work construction, so maybe he can get some rest. But this is Most Talk 97. 97. I'm just 3 more away from 100, and I think when I get to my 100th episode, I think it's gonna be either before I go to Savannah or after. Wait a minute. So let me the calendar real quick. See, there's a calendar right here. Yeah. I'm trying to see where's the calendar. Let me give a good look at Canada. Let's see. Okay, let me take a look at my calendar. I'm about to see real quick. Let me see. So this is the 3rd week of August. See. So do. And my episode 100 Muscle Talk Monday is going to be on the 5th, which is Labor Day weekend. Labor Day. So I hope y'all have the day off and come through and listen to me. We'll try to do a special. Because it's going to be a holiday, and also it's going to be episode 100. And yes, like I said, I already scheduled it in. The 10th is when I go to Savannah. I hope, like I said, I get 2 more weeks. I'm hoping, like actually 2 more weeks and a few more days. I hope nothing. I'm crossing my fingers. Nothing pops up. Nothing goes wrong. Nothing problems. That's why I keep looking at my car. That's the one thing I worry about. My car worries me more than anything. But yeah. Out of topic, Brittany Flex. Don't know her last name, but do you think she's a FB or physique competitor? Oh, Brittany Watts. Her last name G Cell is Brittany Watts, but she goes by Brittany Flex Watts. You know what? Possibly. I did comparison with her and Janine Mikowski, but she might. She's not competing this year because excuse me. She had competing in shows this year. So she might be making adjustments going to. One lady who just is going to compete in bodybuilding is Christina Bryant. I think Christina Bryant might be doing Savannah, and she's going to do the Rising. But Brittany, she might. It's all dependent. Like I said, if you don't do too well in women's division, in women's physique division, someone would go up to women's bodybuilding and see how they do. But it's all dependent on them, man, what the coaches say. But I think she looks pretty good. She has great physique. I hope maybe we see her in bodybuilding sometime soon. So, folks, excuse me. I really would like to thank your time. I'd like to thank my hand of the Emperor Jen for coming through. My man Giselle. I saw her IG and she is looking huge. Wait a minute. Let me go IG real quick. See. Let me pull her name up. I think it's Brittany. Okay, let's see. Where is one? I gotta. Yeah, let's see. She looks like she's. I mean, Let me put up her IG real quick for you guys who is a fan of these ladies. She looks like she might be putting on some size there at G-Cell. Yeah. 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 She might. You never know. Like I said, if she's not doing too well in physique, if she feels like jumping over to women's open is better for her, she might. So we might see her next year. Not this year, but next year. But yeah, I think yeah. It all depends. Like I said, the thing is it's all dependent on these ladies when they talk to the coaches. You know, if they feel like that switching over, might work for them better than staying in women's physique. So much potential. Yeah, she has potential, and I hope she comes to female bodybuilding. I hope so too. We can use more women. I know people have. I know some guys are talking about these physique competitors, but the fact is, everything bodybuilding it started out. You think like this. Bodybuilding started out as bikini. Originally, it was bikini. Then they kick off the high heels, and then they became what division is now bodybuilding. Then so many other divisions sprung from it. Not just you gotta say you can't forget fitness was created because it's alternative. Figure, also physique. Even some points even wellness came from bodybuilding. There's some women who could be the physique competitors. Like I said with Daphne, we switched over to wellness. So many figure competitors switch over to wellness. But I think I do one more here before we head out. Because like I said, I know. Yeah. Because I can see who I wanna let's see. One more lady here I'm going to mention that I think she possibly might switch over. She's competed as a physique competitor originally, but I think there's a good chance we might see her in Women's Open, and that is Amy O. Jimenez, and she's getting huge. I mean, she lives in the Philippines, and since the virus, the Philippines been kind of restricted, and she's getting huge. Now, I think Abby O. Jimenez, she might be switching over. She's been put on a lot of size because that's all she's been doing. Because there's been like restrictions in the Philippines for traveling. You can't get into the Philippines. I think they're supposed to lift those restrictions by next year. Now they got a new president. Kicked that other guy out. And and she is, she's getting huge. Abby is huge, a total tank. And being that she's shorter, more compact, seems like the shorter, compact women can put on muscle a lot more than the taller women. It's been like, But yeah, you can see in her arms, her quads. I mean, there's a possibility we might see her make a debut finally in women's bodybuilding because she'd be too big for physique. She'd be too big for physique. I don't see Abby doing physique. Let me see the picture there. Yeah. I don't see her doing physique. Yeah, she's really getting huge. I love when she posts comparison pics with her husband. Yeah, her husband's a small dude, and I think she's bigger than her son too. Yeah, but Abby. I think she's gonna switch over. We might see Abby make a debut next year. I think possibly because the Philippines. I think she might want to come because she was here in the States. She did hang out here at the when they had the New York Pro. I saw pictures. Taking pictures. I saw a picture with her in South Vegas. But Abby, if she can, like I said, just work on her conditioning, she has the size, work on conditioning. I think she's gonna be pretty impressive. I think she might want to do a show on the States if she wants, or she might try to do something like the Portugal or also Europa or the Romania next year. But anyway, folks, like I said, this is episode 97 of MuscleTalk Mondays. I'm gonna head out because it's already about 5 o'clock. It's about time for me to eat. I gotta feed the machine. I just I gotta keep, like I said, even though hey, I'm a big man, but still need to eat. But folks, I do appreciate y'all coming through. My man G Cell, my man Lels Perkins, my brother Underrated Darkness, my brother KL, the Go Against Nature, and my brother that freak show, Balls Deep. I do appreciate y'all for coming through, and supporting these women in bodybuilding, be it physique, be it women's open, be it figure, those three divisions, figure, physique, and women's bodybuilding are truly women's bodybuilding. Now, fitness per se is a bit of it, but bikini's not really, I would say, bodybuilding. Just girls with big butts and nice tight butts. And wellness, some of the women do have a little bit more muscle. It's kind of like wellness sits between bikini and figure. It's for those girls who are a little bit more genetically wearing endowed in the lower half compared to other women. I think it's more of a division that's more very popular for black women and prospectively women of Latin descent because they also have African DNA. But support these women in sport of bodybuilding. Be a fan. Be genuine. If like to say this, if you have the means in a way, if you have a way to sponsor a show where if you got maybe $10,000 laying around, and I'm just saying, and you want to sponsor like the Indie Pro, and we still want to see female bodybuilding Indie Pro next year. So if you want to reach out to Dave Bauer and say, Dave, I want to keep women's bodybuilding in it's your show, and also reach out to a couple other guys and see, like, hey, let me bring women's bodybuilding to the Texas Pro. Do that. If you have the means in the way, please do that. Be genuine about doing that. If you have the wins, you have the ways if you have the means in the way to do it, then do it. Just don't be about it. Don't just speak about it. Anyways, it's me all the way George Page, aka the Emperor of Female Body Talk. Don't subscribe, don't subscribe. I am out.